And 4-2. But I bet the only one game that people will remember is the one that's played tonight.
That's exactly what we said earlier, because the scores were not that lopsided, and it's tough to beat a good team twice, 3 times, and in this case 4 times. It would be if Kennedy should beat Burnsville.
I don't think Kennedy's going to be overconfident either, because they've never won a state championship. This is the time these kids have been dreaming about. We just heard them since they were little kids. They're going to have their opportunity in a few minutes. Live from the St. Paul Civic Center, this is continuing coverage of the 1987 Minnesota.
Senior forward, number 4, Cam Beckman. Senior center, number 5, Dan Bretschneider. Junior defenseman, number 6, Brad Hendrickson. Senior defenseman, number 7, Frank DeMeo. Junior forward, number 8, Steve Dahl. Senior forward, number 9, John Sunby. Senior forward, number 14, Scott Reddy. Junior forward, number 15, Rick Rutten. Senior defenseman, number 16, Todd Romanowski. Senior forward, number 17, Dean Thomas. Senior forward, number 18, Phil Feinberg. Senior center, number 19, Rob Granado. Senior guard, number 22, Brett Thielen. Senior defenseman, number 23, Dave Pearson. Senior defenseman, number 25, Noel Manley. Senior defenseman, number 26, Mike Ingfer. Senior forward, number 28, Lance Wernes. And senior goaltender, number 30, Tom Dennis. Head coach Tom Osiki and his assistant, Bruce Anderson. And now, the champions of Section 5, the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. First, senior goaltender number 1, Chris Lind. Senior defenseman number 2, Kent Landry. Senior wing number 3, Mark Wallinga. Senior wing number 4, Thomas Hansen. Senior defenseman number 5, Mike Parent. Senior defenseman number 6, Kevin Colley. Senior defenseman number 7, Marco Creos. Senior wing number 8, Chad Piddleco. Junior center number 9, Dave Stansberry. Senior center number 10, Jason Miller. Junior defenseman number 11, Steve Cronkite. Junior wing number 12, Dan Bauer. Junior wing number 13, Tex Golding. Senior wing number 14, Joe Decker. Senior center and wing number 15, John Carlson. Senior center and wing number 16, Pat McGowan. Senior wing number 17, John Manuel. Senior defenseman, number 18, Rick Weiss. Junior wing, number 19, Kyle McLean. And senior goaltender, number 35, Thane Venix. Head coach, Jerry Peterson. His assistant is Mark Holtgren. Ladies and gentlemen, here are your officials for this game. The linesman is Bill Crunchnoble. Your referees, Rick Tibasar and Richard Lidd. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please stand and honor America as the Kennedy High School Band, under the direction of Gerald Prenti, leads us in our national anthem.
The Burnsville Braves are the two-time defending state champions with a record of 19-6. They advanced to the championship game with a 4-1 win over Roseville, and yesterday beating War Road 5-3. The Kennedy Blue Eagles, ranked number 1 in the state. They have never won the state championship. They beat Burnsville 3 times this year, and en route to the final, defeated South St. Paul 7-3. And Greenway 4-2. It's a dream matchup indeed.
Well, we had a great game last night between Greenway and Kennedy. We expect more of the same tonight, Chris. This team right here, Burnsville, has just been getting stronger as the year goes on. They are a very well-positioned team. They have excellent discipline. They don't get rattled. Their defensemen are mostly stay-at-home types. They move the puck along the walls a great deal. They look to the centerman, Brett Schneider, and Granado to generate some offense. Wernes is an outstanding wing. He scores a lot of goals for them. So Brett Schneider and Wernes are their keys in offense. Dennis is an experienced goaltender, and he could be tough. For Kennedy, McGowan's going to have a job. He'll probably be pitted against Brett Schneider. I would think that's the way they play him, because he's been going against the top scorer in the other teams. Jason Miller's the man that Burnsville's going to have to stop, an excellent creative centerman. He's got great skills, and Joe Decker on a wing, a top goal-scoring wing. On defense, Krios and Cronkite really motor with that puck. The other four stay at home a lot more. Chris Lynn had an outstanding night last night. We expect a very competitive game here tonight.
We certainly do. A capacity crowd on hand as we get set for the 1987 championship game between Burnsville in black and Kennedy in white with the blue and gold trim. And it's Dan Brett Schneider with the puck. He clears it into Kennedy territory. Krios on the far side to Steve Cronkite. Up on the right wing it goes. Here's McGowan shooting right on, and Tom Dennis is tested in the opening 16 seconds.
Well, Coach Jerry Peterson has got the last change. He's got White, their home team tonight, and he has put McGowan against Brett Schneider. We'd like to see how long he's going to stay with that, or if Tom Osiki, coach at Burnsville, tries to get away from that matchup.
Brett Schneider took the tower of strength in the victory yesterday over War Road. Puck on the near side board. Sunby fighting for it. But Krios knocked it into the corner, chased after it as the defenseman Krios pinches in. And now it's Brad Hendrickson. Around the boards it goes, and it slides out to center ice. There's Brett Schneider cruising in the center ice zone. Dumped it into Kennedy territory. Now it comes to Hendrickson. He just handed it back to Krios, and the two teams looking a little tentative in the opening minute of play. Kennedy now making a line change. Out it goes to Warnes as the Burnsville Braves have also changed their line in the opening minute. Warnes knocks it in. He's out there with Granato. Granato in forechecking. Puck comes to the near side boards. It's kept in, though. Hendrickson shoots it back behind the net. Warnes in behind the goal. Puck up on the mesh. It comes free now. There's Warnes. He'll try and jam it. Scores! Lance Warnes!
A bad clearing pass by Kennedy behind the net goes right to Lance Warnes. He just steps out and puts it by the short side to give a quick lead to Burnsville. Warnes very alert behind the net, saw a reverse coming, steps back and intercepts that pass. You'll watch right here now. Warnes 28 is going to step behind and take that pass right there all alone, and he puts it in real quickly right in the short side, and a quick lead for Burnsville. Watch this. It should be an unassisted goal because he just took that pass right from the Kennedy defenseman and put it in the short side. Looks like they might be giving an assist to Granato, but apparently they didn't see that puck came right from the Kennedy defenseman.
Statistic that Burnsville holds true again tonight. This has been a tournament, though, characterized by comebacks. So an early goal should not, in fact, put Kennedy too deep in a hole.
But that's something that Burnsville wanted to get out to a quick lead to just dispel any thoughts that they were awed by this Kennedy Hockey Club.
Jason Miller at center, hands it off, and it's shot in by Chad Piddleco. Dennis out of the net. Puck cleared up on the right wing past Warnes out in the center ice zone. And now Kennedy fires it back in and makes a line change. Mike Engfer goes after it. He was on the championship team a year ago. Puck behind the goal. Hendrickson off the boards. He can't clear it. Here's John Manuel's shot. That deflects up over the glass and out of play. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. 2 seconds left, first period. 1-0 Burnsville on Lance Warnes' third of the tournament. There's a loose puck in the center zone. Beckman brings it in. A shot right on Chris Lynn. Lynn getting his second straight start as Jerry Peterson altered his goaltending tandem. Usually he switches each game. It was Thane Venix's turn, but he went with Venix, or he went with Lynn after a brilliant effort last night. Some bumping in the center ice zone. Now a pass on this near side to Manuel. He mishandles it. But following up on the play is McGowan. Somebody threw a beach ball on the ice. Hope it doesn't get into play. Here's a chance for Kennedy as going after it is Manuel. Puck comes to the point. Crayo's fanned on it. McGowan swiped at it, and it went wide of the goal. Now they tie it up for a face-off, and they'll get a chance to get that ball off the ice.
The referees wanted to give him a quick whistle there to make sure they got that ball off because it certainly was interfering with play. As we look at Pat McGowan, the fellow that has drawn the assignment to stop Brett Schneider. One thing Burnsville's doing, they're going to the boards very quickly in the offensive zone. They apparently know that the Kennedy has 4 defensemen who like to move it around the walls. Outside of Krios and Cronkite, the other 4 are moving it along the boards, and they're going right to the wing to take that breakout play away from them.
McGowan, Walinga, and Hansen up front for Kennedy. Puck is cleared into the center zone. That's the junior Cronkite that's so highly regarded. He backhands it to the blue line of Burnsville. Up with it is Hansen. He flips it into the zone, but Engfer knocks it back out. Steve Cronkite hands it to Brett Schneider. Now Cronkite gets it back again. He loses it in turn to Scott Reddy, who had a goal against Warroad. Reddy puts it into the Kennedy bench for a face-off.
Burnsville looks like they have new uniforms this year. The uniforms look blacker, Chris, and it makes them look bigger and stronger. And I know one thing, they're out there intent on playing a physical game because they certainly are eliminating their checks every time they go to the man. Osiki knows he can't let Kennedy freewheel, and apparently he's told his team to eliminate the man when you go and make the check. Make sure he doesn't get back in the play.
Here's the big line for Kennedy. Jason Miller, Joe Decker, and Chad Piddleco. It's knocked down into Kennedy territory. Back to get it. Kent Landreth takes a hit. As the Burnsville Braves try to forecheck, Warnes takes his man to the boards. Granato knocks it behind the goal. Feinberg centers it in front. Granato the shot. I think he hit the goal post and Lynn covers up.
I think it got the inside of the goalie skate. He made the save, I believe. Granato had a good attempt there, but Lynn was sliding across to the right. And apparently, I believe he did get his skate on it. An excellent chance for him. You see the strong forechecking creating the opportunity. There's a shot. Orton hit the side of the net. Came back. He was just moving across the front. Really had no angle as he was going away from the net, but he came very close to putting Burnsville up by 2.
Here's Mike Parrott. Up ahead, he was looking for Joe Decker. The pass too far. Frank DeMeo has some trouble with it alongside of the goal. Now clears it to Wernes, and he just shoots it out to center. Up with it there is Kent Landreth for the Kennedy Eagles. Back in he comes. Landreth looking for a man in front. Was cut off as he tried to skate for the net. Burnsville can't clear the zone. Puck is loose, and now the Braves just send it down the ice. And they'll be called for icing with 10:32 left. First period, Burnsville 1. Kennedy nothing. This is Hockey 87, live from the St. Paul.
Giving Kennedy some problems, forcing Kennedy out of their position play that's been so effective for them, and Kennedy actually doing a little scrambling right now.
Dave Pearson clears it out for Burnsville. Back to get it, Kevin Colley. Good lead pass for Stansbury. Stansbury cleared it inside the line. Here's John Manuel picking it up. Manuel backhands it, deflected just wide of the goal by Dan Bauer. On the far side, Bauer takes his man into the boards heavily. Romanowski jams in there, and up with the puck come the Burnsville Braves, and Paul Kivy skates to center. He is checked at the blue line. There's a big body check in the center ice zone as Stansbury was knocked down. Now the Kennedy Eagles clear it in. Offside the call. 9:53 left in the first period. Burnsville leading 1-0. Lewis, special telegram arrived at the Kennedy dressing room tonight before the game from none other than Don Jackson, alumnus of Bloomington Kennedy, and he wished the players well in their quest for the school's first state championship ever.
Well, Don now with New York Rangers, he's had the good fortune of being on a Stanley Cup winner in Edmonton.
He referred to that in the telegram and told the Eagles that there'd be one of the most special moments of their lives if they win tonight, and he wished them well. Here's a rolling puck to the goal crease, and Dennis has to cover up.
That puck hit the inside of the defenseman skate from Burnsville, came right back out, but Dennis was very alert. We just saw Dan Bauer earlier lay a heavy check on Burnsville. Romanowski with another one, and that's something that Kennedy's going to have to be doing tonight if they want to get into this hockey game. Right now, Burnsville's effective body checking, keeping Kennedy off balance. Kennedy does have some big-sized wingers. They're going to have to use their body to try and effectively eliminate the kind of checking that Burnsville's been putting on them thus far.
Brett Schneider against McGowan on the draw. It goes to Manley. He clears it out into the center ice zone. Most of the play has been in that area so far. Hansen hands the puck away. Brett Schneider's lead pass for Sunby too far, and now Steve Cronkite has it. Cronkite near side for Tom Hansen. Hansen can't get loose as Brett Schneider knocked it off his stick. Back down in Eagle territory. Hansen gets the puck again, and there's Brett Schneider right with him. But Hansen gets it ahead. Here's McGowan with Wallinga breaking the shot. That didn't miss the net by much. McGowan keeps it in at the point. They score! A deflection. McGowan has tied it.
Well, those type of goals don't happen too often, and when they do, there's nothing you can do about it. McGowan shot hits defenseman Brad Hendrickson in the skate as he was turning. Tom Dennis not playing that angle. He's already moving to the right for the shot. Could do nothing but watch it go into the net. Here's a shot by McGowan, and you see Hendrickson just turning, and it catches the skate, beats goaltender Dennis, and this game is tied. Those type of goals will happen. It's an unfortunate thing for Burnsville, but a very happy Pat McGowan ties his game up. As they say, there's nothing wrong in shooting the puck on the net.
McGowan's second of the tournament ties the score at 1 at the 6:01 mark.
A harmless looking play, just a shot from 55 feet out. Karam's off a skate, right past goaltender Dennis, and we've got a tie game and a big break for Kennedy, as up until that time they were effectively being bottled up with really no good scoring chances given them by the check in the Burnsville.
I think they needed that little spark. Back on even terms as Engfer clears it down into Kennedy territory. Here's a loose puck. Wernes centered it in front. No one there in a black uniform, and out comes Kent Landreth. Here's Landreth over the line. Passes it off. Jason Miller with it. Miller in for Piddleco, and Tom Dennis goes down, and they hold it for a face-off. With the score, Kennedy 1, Burnsville 1. This is Hockey 87 live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
excited. He's just shooting the puck from 55 feet out. And he gets a little bit excited. Now we've got double penalties to Piddlecow and DeMeo, so we'll be playing 4-on-4. We saw a very happy Pat McGowan just putting the puck back in the zone. All of a sudden in the net. He was celebrating for a while.
Coincidental minors mean 4 skaters aside. Plenty of open ice. Mike Engford behind the net being watched by Jason Miller. Now Granato takes over. Granato and Wernis up front for Burnsville. And it's Joe Decker and Jason Miller. What a tandem that is for Kennedy. Here comes Miller over the line. Couldn't get a good shot away. It was blocked by Hendrickson. Hendrickson up for Wernis too far. Kept in by Cronkite, but his pass cross ice comes outside the line. Cronkite ahead to Miller. What a tournament Jason Miller has had. Hat-trick in 1 game. Has 5 goals. Although he did admit after the game last night that one of those goals he thought should have been credited to a teammate. He said he didn't make the deflection that the referee credited him with.
That's a long shot by Cronkite.
Right.
In the blue line.
It's kind of player he is too. Here's Miller scores!
Well, he's done it all year long. He takes a pass on the far side, and he's been Kennedy's leader, their leading point producer, and the general on the ice for them, and he's got a rocket of a shot. You give him room, and he's dangerous, and he makes his own room when he can't get room. That time he's on the far side, the right wing to Dennis's left. He just lets a blast go from the top of the circle, hitting the far corner. Jason Miller quickly putting Kennedy ahead for the first time tonight on a slap shot from the far side into the far corner.
Kreus and Cronkite get assists on the goal. Miller's 6th of the tournament, and there was no doubt he got that one.
You know, one thing, Burnsville's got black uniforms, and that puck was low. It comes off the socks or the skates. That's a little tough to pick up. And the goaltender just seen that shot coming out of the skate. Takes him a little longer to react to it.
Here come the Eagles of Kennedy once again. Wallinga in the corner battling for it. But up with it comes Dan Brett Schneider. The Braves led 1-0, but now they're down 2-1. Brett Schneider trying to go coast to coast. Sundby's backhand. And a good stop there by Chris Lind after a fine rush by Dan Brett Schneider. Back the other way. Wallinga can't get loose. McGowan follows up. And here comes Marco Kreus, captain of the junior Finnish team. Kreus over the line. His pass was knocked down. Sundby will try to clear. Sundby goes down. Kreus has it. Nice move by Kreus. And he can't get a shot away. Hendrickson made the check. There's a breaking job. Sundby. He's in alone. Sundby. And Lind made the save.
A great pass by Brett Schneider to break Sundby away. Kreus getting caught up ice with one move too many. Leaving that far point open. And a great opportunity, but a good save by Lind.
Both teams returning to full strength now. 6 minutes, 22 seconds left in the first period of the championship game of 1987. The Kennedy Eagles with a 2-1 lead. Kennedy works it out on this wing. Steve Cronkite falls down. The puck goes to Romanowski. Up to Paul Kivy. Kivy checked from behind, and it's cleared into Burnsville territory by Stansberry. Engford up ahead to Cam Beckman. Beckman being watched by John Manuel, loses possession. Here's a bouncing puck as it slides down into Burnsville territory. Manuel's after it. Here's Stansberry centering it. Loose puck, and Granato starts back the other way. Here's a 2-on-1. Beckman and Granato. Granato in, and the shot was blocked. Good defensive play. Kevin Colley was the man that broke up the 2-on-1. Burnsville trying to keep it in the zone. It's at the line, and Granato works it in. Here's Wernis the drive, and that was deflected by Weiss.
Quite a pace here, Chris, and I think it's a little too wide open for what Kennedy would like to have.
Dan Bauer now trying to get a face-off, and he does. 5:09 left, first period. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School hockey.
Open at this stage, Kennedy being forced into more of a wide open game, I believe, than they would like to play.
Brett Schneider clears it in the corner. There's Sundby behind the net, trying to center it out in front. Scott Reddy's open, but he's all tied up now. Kennedy Eagles come back down the ice, and there's a shot right on. Dennis makes the stop. Dennis shouldn't get rattled. He's been here before. Brett Schneider starts Burnsville the other way. Sunby bumped off the puck. Joe Decker can't get loose. Now Brett Schneider over the line, and a good defensive play by Mike Parent. 2 5s up against the boards. That was a dangerous pass.
But a fellow with the talents of Miller will try that. He's confident enough that he can do that.
Icing the call against the Eagles with the score. Kennedy 2, Burnsville 1. This is Hockey 87, live from the... Gibby wins the draw. Romanowski shot knocked down in front. Dave Pearson chops at it. It goes to the corner. Cam Beckman is after it there. He centers it in front, and Steve Dahl tried to get possession of it for a shot. Couldn't do it. Back comes Kennedy. Pat McGowan down the left wing. McGowan is hit by Kivy, goes after the puck, feeds it to the point. Here's Krayos with a weak shotgun goal, but you never know when you throw it on goal. A rebound, a deflection, and Dennis has to cover up.
And Pat McGowan forced out of the line change where he was watching Brett Schneider thus far. Now out there against Kivy's line, but we're having Burnsville make a change. They're getting their third line away from McGowan's line. And so now we're looking at Peterson. He probably wants to change the matchup. Maybe he doesn't like what he's seen thus far, and he certainly has done that right now. We've got Granato's line coming out in the ice, and when they're out in the ice, he's been using Jason Miller, and that's what he comes right back to.
Jerry Peterson has the last change in this game, as Kennedy is the home team.
This is the line that's done it all season long for Kennedy. And Jason Miller's put their club ahead with the second
Dennis
goal.
and the Braves come up with it, and Wernis with a burst of speed. Cut off, though, by Parent, who's played an aggressive first period. Engford passes it to the blue line. Granato tips it into the zone, but out with it comes Joe Decker. The leading goal scorer for the Kennedy Eagles with 35 on the year. Decker clears it down into Burnsville territory. Dennis left his net, and Piddleco was open in front, just couldn't get his stick on the puck. Piddleco fighting for the puck with Frank DeMeo. Jason Miller gets it to the point. Here comes a shot. That was blocked, and now Robbie Granato goes after it. He's on the end of a line, or on the end of a shift, and goes to the bench for a line change. Wernis just gets rid of it. He'll try to get off the ice too, as they want to change up the lines for Burnsville. Long shot into the zone by Parent. Now Kennedy will make a change. Braves just clear it down the ice. Kennedy in that change, and as the puck slid by the bench, it looked like they had about 7 players on the ice, but play continues. Up ice comes McGowan. His shot is blocked. Goes to the corner. In there quickly after it. There's Hansen to McGowan in front. Dennis makes a good save. Wallinga on the other side forechecking. This number 2 line for Kennedy has plenty of firepower. McGowan, Wallinga, and Hansen. Hansen along the near side boards, holds it for a face-off. He's quite a character, Lou. Went to a sun tanning boutique the other day, put a big number 4 in tape on his body, tanned the rest of his body, and took the tape off. He's got a big white number 4, just like the number on his back.
And here he gives a nice setup to McGowan. McGowan all alone in front, but what a big save by Dennis. And as Burnsville brings their line off the ice, Brett Schneider, then McGowan goes off the ice. That second line of Kennedy, McGowan's, does the checking for them, and is also a very explosive line capable of scoring themselves. They've had a great year in a superb tournament, as we're looking at goaltender Tom Dennis, who kept the difference at 1 with that save on McGowan. One thing Kennedy defensemen doing tonight, having a little bit of a problem, is getting that shot through from the point.
Here's John Manuel, a shot right from the face-off right on. Dennis made the save. He's got a 5-game winning streak in state tournament action on the line tonight. Here's a stolen puck, and this is Cam Beckman in. Beckman fires. Lynn made the stop. 2-on-1 opportunity for the Braves.
Well, again there, the defenseman not getting that puck through, and they've got to make sure they miss that man.
Back the other way comes Dave Stansbury of Kennedy. He's all tied up. Puck kept in at the point. Rick Weiss's shot deflects up over the glass and into the crowd. 1:58 left in the first period.
For the center of the net, shoot for the pads. Don't try and score from 60 feet. When you try and pick corners, you miss the net. The puck goes all around the boards. Many times you get caught in a 2-on-1 situation because everyone's going with a shot. So make sure you get the puck on the net if it's open. Otherwise, just put it in the corner.
Pat McGowan tried to put it on the net. It bounced off a skating in, and that's one of the big reasons Kennedy's ahead 2-1. Wernes with a nice pass over the line to Granato, feeding it in for Feinberg. And the puck went back to the goaltender. That was a Kennedy player with a shot on goal, and that might rattle Chris Lind a bit.
Well, Joe Decker was moving away with the flow, and he thought he'd catch the forechecker. He had Feinberg right on his back. He tried to lay a pass back to the defenseman. When you're passing that puck back, rather than just leaving it with a little tail, he put it too much on it, and he had a shot on net.
Wow. Feinberg tries to center it in front. The way Decker shoots, anything that he touches can go in either way. Back the other way. Here's Landreth feeding it in. A pass in front. Scores! Joe Decker!
What a passing play. What a passing play that was. Landreth to Miller to Decker. And was that superb? There's nothing Dennis could do. You can't diagram it any better than that play was. Just a superb play. Kennedy pulling out to a 2-goal advantage. Look at this. Landreth going wide. Laying it down to Miller across. Wide open. Decker. Home free. Bingo. That's all she wrote. What a superb passing play by Kennedy to give him a 2-goal lead. And Joe Decker coming in. And when you give him the puck around the net from 10 to 15 feet out, normally he does not make a mistake. And he certainly did make one there. But the key on the play was that defenseman Kent Landreth setting up the initial pass.
Joe Decker gets the goal. It's his third of the tournament. From Miller and Landreth at 13:39, it's 3-1 Kennedy. They've scored 3 straight after Burnsville opened the scoring. However, that's that ominous 3-1 score that hasn't held up in the entire tournament.
With the first assist, number 10, Jason Miller.
Jason Miller gets his 8th point, his second of the night, 8th of the tournament, and what a tournament it's been for number 10 of Kennedy. 9 seconds remaining.
The fellas that are creative like Jason Miller, they've got such a feel for the game. They see the game in a slower motion than the normal player. He plays the game like he's playing it from 20 rows up. That play he made across to Decker was just a great feel for finding the open man when everybody expected him to shoot. But Kent Landreth to start the play made a superb move, setting Miller in free on the right.
Thought we had a clock malfunction. There wasn't 9 seconds. They've changed it now to 59, and we're counting down from there. Clock jumped a beat. Hendrickson clears it down. Brett Schneider is forechecking, and for Jason Miller, he's now tied for the tournament lead in points with John Young of Sault Ste. Paul. Kennedy with possession, and here comes Hansen scooting over the line. He is quick. Hansen with Walenga, but Hendrickson and Manley tie him up against the far boards. Reddy can't clear the zone. Puck is still loose. 12 seconds left in the first period. Up ahead it goes to Sunby. He lost it in his skates. They clear it outside the line now, and that should do it for the first period. It started with the Burnsville Braves opening the scoring, but then the Kennedy Eagles, living up to their #1 ranking, roar back, scoring 3 consecutive goals. McGowan, Miller, and Decker. And it's 3-1 after 1.
Burnsville had Kennedy somewhat rattled. They got the first goal. They were pressing him very well. They were forechecking aggressively, coming up with the plays in the offensive zone, having a couple of opportunities themselves after that initial goal. But then Kennedy was able to get a goal on a deflection, a fluke goal, no doubt about it. But that seemed to really spark them. From then on, they started to put on some pressure. They created some opportunities. Then their leader, their general, Jason Miller, takes over. He gets a goal and assist and puts up a 2-goal lead at this time.
Okay, 3-1. We've heard that score before. Let's go down to sports control.
We just saw that graphic that Burnsville was trailing 3-1 against Warroad yesterday in their semifinal, but Kennedy has not Warroad, at least defensively. The only time Kennedy has given up 4 goals all year was their only loss to Greenway back in December, Ralph.
The score was 1-1 at one point in the first period, and Louis was saying, well, they're playing racehorse hockey now, and I don't think Kennedy wants to do that, but we'll have to ask him a little later, because that's what they've been doing the whole period here, and they lead it.
Warnes, number 28 here. He'll sneak the puck past Chris Lind on the short side. That made it 1-0.
It was about 5 minutes later when Kennedy got on the board to tie it. Number 16, Pat McGowan, let one fly there from the right side, about a 55-footer. It's 1-1. They'll take him any way they can get him.
He's the transfer student from Cooper High School. But then the Miller-Decker combination got going. Jason Miller, his 6th goal of the tournament. He has 8 points, put him ahead 2-1 there. A bullet.
Late in the first here, Kennedy, great pass here. Kent Landreth to Jason Miller to Joe Decker. And that's exactly the way they diagram them. Bingo, bango, bongo. It's just the way they, you know. Great pass.
It seems Minnesotans just can't get enough of their favorite winter sport. On any given night, you'll find big crowds watching the North Stars, Gophers, or their favorite high school squad.
But for my money, the most entertaining brand of hockey is played each weekend at arenas like this one all across the state. Don't take my word for it, though. In fact, the show is just about to begin.
Welcome to the incredible world of Cub hockey, a world where 5- and 6-year-olds get their first taste of the greatest game on ice. In many ways, these young warriors look the same as their full-grown counterparts, but the difference here lies in both the players' faces and their ability. The toughest maneuver for most of these athletes is to master the art of skating backward. Some catch on quickly, others, well, once warm-ups are completed, it's time to get down to business. No matter how many of these games you watch, there's always one player that catches your eye. He's usually an incredibly smooth skater. He normally has great stick handling ability. The future superstar always has an innate sense of where the puck is. But most importantly, he loves his fans. This fella has no qualms in taking a moment in the heat of battle to acknowledge his support.
They were leaving their positions, and Kennedy, usually a very disciplined team, wasn't in that first 7 or 8 minutes, but they certainly got it back, and right now they've got a good lead on Burnsville, but Burnsville yesterday came back from a deficit like this, and they're far from out of it.
Ready to start period number 2. Tom Osiki's team has been down 3-1 before, but certainly not against the quality of team that Jerry Peterson has in the Kennedy Eagles. 3 times this year, the Eagles have beaten the Braves. Scores in that series 3-1, 4-3, and 4-2. So the Braves have their work cut out for them. We start the second period. Both teams at full strength, and a lead pass to Mark Wallinga in the center ice zone. Wallinga hits the line, drops it for McGowan. Brett Schneider knocked it away, and now up ice come the Braves. Hendrickson tried a bounce pass off the boards, and it went right to McGowan. McGowan in turn hands it back to the Braves at their own line, and this is Hendrickson once again. Ahead to John Sunby. Sunby inside Kennedy territory, sandwich there. Good defensive play by Steve Cronkite, and here comes McGowan. McGowan over the line, a backhander, and Tom Dennis made the stop. As Cronkite had pinched in from his defensive position and got a shot on goal. Good mobile young defenseman, number 11, Steve Cronkite, as Kennedy holds it for a point.
They've got great skating ability, and they do move up with the play a great deal, and that's something Burnsville knows they have to concern themselves with.
Here's Jason Miller on the draw, out there with Joe Decker and Chad Piddleco, and Miller wins the faceoff. Parent the shot, knocked down in front. Rob Granato gets it for Burnsville. Up ahead it goes, a pass to Warnes. Warnes on the backhand, tried to put it into the goal crease, and they collide into the net. Knock it off its moorings for a faceoff. With the score, Kennedy 3, Burnsville.
You'll see Granato right here trying to get the loose puck taken into the net, though, rather heavily by Mike Parent, knocking it off its moorings. We got a face-off to the right of the goaltender.
Warnes taking the draw for Burnsville and losing it. And up with the puck and down the ice comes Kent Landreth. And what a rush he made for that 3rd Kennedy goal in the first period. Landreth setting it up. Out at center ice, Landreth with the puck again. Clears it to the near side wing. Granato was there for Burnsville, and now Feinberg clears it down into Kennedy territory. Burnsville will probably stick to their grinding game plan and try to force Kennedy into mistakes, and there's an icing call with 13-13 left in the second period.
Well, Kennedy almost caught Burnsville on the line change, but an errant pass up to Joe Decker goes for icing. Otherwise, Decker would have had a 2-on-1 situation with Piddlecau on the far side, as Burnsville electing to make a change after they'd thrown the puck in. Quick work by Mike Parent, but the pass up ice, a little errant. Face off for icing to the right of goaltender Chris Lynn.
Interesting that in the Lake Red Conference, Kennedy led the conference scoring with 116 goals. Burnsville was second. Jason Miller led the scoring, and Brett Schneider was second. There's a shot off the wing by Dan Bauer going wide of the goal. They tie it up along the far boards. It comes loose. Rick Weiss couldn't keep it in. Now feeds it back. Kevin Kelly in his own zone. Cross to Weiss. Weiss up the boards, and here's John Manuel. Manuel off left wing ahead to Dave Stansbury. Stansbury in the middle for Bauer. Good passing play. 5 straight passes, but they can't get a shot on goal. Every member of the Kennedy team touched the puck there on the way up. Now they'll start back again. Colley flipping it towards the Burnsville zone, and it's knocked right back out again. 3-1, Kennedy leads.
Kennedy going for a quick line change now, coming right back with McGowan's lines because they anticipate Brett Schneider to come out.
Scott Reddy just failed to take that pass inside the line. Here's what Burnsville's up against. Kennedy has shut out opponents 6 times this year and allowed their opponents 1 goal on 11 different occasions.
In the one sectional game against Washburn, they only gave the team 3 shots on net. They put on quite a performance there. You were just talking earlier about the third line, Stansbury and Manuel and Bauer moving that puck around, not getting a shot on it, but they had a good passing play. That line connected for a few goals in the big game against Jefferson. So they've got a real good balance up on the forward lines of that Kennedy Hockey Club.
You just saw that statistic of McGowan winning the bowling title before many big games during the year. The Kennedy team all goes bowling, and I guess McGowan's pretty good on the lanes. They didn't go bowling today, though. I asked Jerry Peterson. Maybe this isn't a big game for them. I think it is. They had better things to do than bowl this afternoon.
This is one time when they need a little more rest. You have to remember Burnsville had an extra half-day rest before Kennedy. Kennedy played last night.
Here comes McGowan with the shot that goes off the mark, but McGowan's right after it. He's had a strong game so far, but McGowan was taken into the boards, and he's...
Hendrickson, and I think he hurt his left shoulder. This is something that I'm certain Jerry Peterson's very concerned about. They can't afford to lose that young man. A big factor for this hockey club all year long, but especially in this tournament.
In favor of Kennedy as Pat McGowan has gone to the bench. While we're talking about injuries, John Lindquist of the Burnsville Braves, of course, not in the lineup. He suffered that severed tendon in his hand in the first game and is watching from the sidelines tonight. That has to be frustrating. You dream of playing in a tournament final. There's a shot that just missed the target. And Lou, we've mentioned this before, that glass really yields some funny hops, and that one almost fooled Chris Lynn.
And they're very lively. That puck comes off there so quickly that the goalie many times hasn't got time to react. And if there's a shooter around that net, oft times he's been able to score goals because the goaltender doesn't know where that puck is.
Granato on the faceoff against Jason Miller. Wins it. Wernes' shot deflects wide. Here's Granato in behind the net. And upcoming is a penalty. Mike Parent dumped one of the Burnsville players, and here comes the call. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Granato. And now Burnsville in a good position to close the gap, trailing by 2 at 10:42 to go. One of the penalty killers is Pat McGowan, as you know, on this Kennedy Hockey Club. I'm sure that they're hoping that he's going to be fine. He's out
back
there
out
right
on the
now.
ice. That's good news. McGowan is out. And he is out there with Mark Wallinga. Wernes plays the point on the power play. Hendrickson's shot is blocked. Burnsville 1 for 4 in the tournament with the man advantage. That's Dan Brett Schneider with the puck. Brett Schneider being watched by Cronkite, who's chopping away at him. Brett Schneider hands it off. That's Granato. It's centered out in front. Wernes moved in. Couldn't reach it. Scott Reddy has it. In behind the goal it goes, around the boards, and McGowan rifles it down the ice.
McGowan also blocked that pass through to the slot area as Wernes was moving in. Very alert out there in the defense. He saw his defenseman move to the side, no one in the slot area, and he covered it up.
And be careful of Kennedy when you've got a power play, because the Eagles have scored 10 shorthanded goals this year, 1 in the tournament. And Joe Decker has 4 on the season as they hold it for a face-off with 1:11 remaining in the penalty to Mike Parent.
Jason Miller will probably come out to kill the penalty now, and he's one of the fellas you have to watch when you're in a power play, because he and Decker out there together certainly look for offensive opportunities. We haven't seen any goals in the championship series this year scored off a face-off. And that is something that is certainly different from past seasons. Face-off so important. You don't like to take too many in your own zone, but there haven't been any goals scored thus far.
Granato on this draw against Miller, and Miller wins it cleanly, and Rick Weiss knocks it down the ice. Lance Wernes racing for it, gets to the puck first. His pass was knocked down by Jason Miller, and Miller is always dangerous. He's out there with Joe Decker now, and look at him handle the puck, drag it a bit, pass it back to Weiss, and now Weiss hands it to Wernes. Wernes, rink wide to Brett Schneider. Burnsville having trouble getting on track. They have a pretty good power play. Here they come. That shot was blocked. It goes high in the air to the corner. Granato chases after it. In behind the goal it goes. Brett Schneider working for it. It comes loose. Here's Granato trying to stuff it. And Chris Lynn goes down and makes the stop.
He's already got 1 goal tonight. His club has, coming around the net like that, and he's certainly tried to put on the short side. Jason Miller, we're looking at him scoring 6 of Kennedy's goals thus far. Very dangerous out there. He kills a good deal of time when he gets control of that puck. He's got such great stick handling ability. He likes to hang on to it. And you have to make sure you're not committing, because he'll break someone away on you.
Now Kibbe against Miller. Once again, Miller won the draw, but it slid through the goal crease. Kennedy gets it outside the line. With possession is Pearson. He shoots it right back into the zone. After it, there's Cronkite. He is a smooth skater. Cronkite really hit hard, though, on that play. Dahl tries to keep it in. It's kept in at the point. A shot right on, and Lynn will cover up as he coughed up a rebound, but was right on it.
He went to feel that puck, and it seemed like he closed his glove a little too quickly on it. It bounced down in front of him, a little uncertainty, so he wanted to make sure that they weren't going to take any chances coughing it up around the net while he was out of position. They got the face-off to his left. He's got a great confidence in Jason Miller in getting that draw.
Well, that time it was Kibbe winning the draw. Shot right on, and we almost had that first goal off the face-off. Lind held on. It was knocked out of his glove by Kibbe, and Lind took exception to that.
Kibbe going for the net. When that shot comes from the blue line, he's going to go to the net and try and set up a screen. If there's a rebound, he's going to jump on it. He wasn't certain where the puck was after Romanowski let fly with a good wrist shot, having that draw one cleanly right back to him.
8 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the second period. Still 3-1 Kennedy. And the Eagles are back at full strength. Parents back on the ice, and Joe Decker tries to speed away. He was cut off by Dave Pearson. Burnsville not that effective on that power play opportunity. On the near side, the battle away for it. Steve Dahl, number 8, in the midst of it, but Miller comes up with it to Decker. The shot right on, and Dennis has to cover up.
Goal scorers shoot the puck, and goal scorers shoot the puck on the net. Joe Decker is a goal scorer. Every time he gets the opportunity, he shoots the puck, and he's extremely accurate. He puts most of them on the net. That's why he's a leading goal scorer on this Kennedy Hockey Club. Good little play right off the boards by Miller, and Decker continually going to the net. And when he gets control of that puck, he lets it fly in the net. And he's sharp enough to follow up for those rebounds. Last night he scored a goal on that. And he certainly was looking for one here tonight.
McGowan back on the ice. He's taken a regular turn since being shaken up. And now here come the Burnsville Braves, led by the quarterback of the football team, Lance Wernes, over the line with a nice move. Wernes put on the brakes. His shot was well off the mark. Shot from the other point. Comes into Granato. Out in front. Wernes was open. Couldn't make contact. Close call. Back the other way. Wallinga to McGowan. McGowan is checked, and Wernes has it. Wernes takes a look. Works it out to center, and he wants a line change as he flips it down in on the Kennedy goaltender, but it's icing with 7:43 left in the second period. A break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School hockey.
But Werner's playing on the offside. He's a right-hand shot. He was on the left wing at that time, and the pass handcuffed him. He couldn't put it away.
From the face-off, Noel Manley clears it around the near side boards. Hendrickson with it. He's being watched by Miller. Hendrickson and Miller fighting for it in the corner. It squirts loose and Burnsville gets possession. Scott Reddy rink wide to John Sunby. Sunby looking for Bretschneider inside the line. Big Dan Bretschneider taken to the boards by Miller. They tie it up along the boards. Will it come free? Bretschneider knocks it loose. Scott Reddy in there for checking, but the Eagles come up with it. Landreth, long pass. He had an open man, Piddleco, but it's called icing as the puck hopped over Piddleco's stick.
Kennedy looking much better than they did in the first 7 or 8 minutes of the first period. They play a great deal better with the lead. They're not running around, leaving their positions like they did early in the game. Burnsville had them somewhat unglued after they got that quick lead, and their forechecking persistence was getting Kennedy out of their game. But Kennedy right back to the type of game they like to play. They're a positional team as well as Burnsville. They're a good checking team. They're staying in their lanes. They're making sure that they're always in position to pick a man up whenever anyone's getting that puck, and they're also in good position making themselves available when they have the puck to get those outlet passes.
7 minutes, 2 seconds left, second period. You get that feeling that Burnsville's got to make something happen here. Give themselves a spark.
This is one of the fellas that can do it for him, too. Bretschneider facing off against McGowan.
Bretschneider wins the draw, Reddy to the point. Hendrickson back into Reddy. Reddy clears it to the corner. Bretschneider goes after it there. Bretschneider's a tough man to move off the puck, but in this case, John Manuel comes up with it and gets it ahead to Dan Bauer. Bauer just pokes it down into Burnsville territory, chases after it. On the near side, Hendrickson around the boards. Kennedy keeps it in, though. There's a shot from Colley at the point, and Dennis steers it into the corner. Bauer fighting for the puck. Here's Manuel centering it. And now the Braves turn and head up ice. Bretschneider, right side pass. This is Sunby shooting, and it was blocked there as Weiss went down. Bretschneider puts it towards the goal. It's knocked away. Bretschneider in there fighting for it again. He is certainly one of the leaders of this Burnsville team, and a good shift by Bretschneider with 6:12 remaining in the second period.
An excellent play by Rick Weiss. He had to block that pass coming through. Otherwise, Burnsville was in perfect position to score a goal. He's played a very solid game. He's played a very solid tournament. A big, strong man back in defense. He uses his size very effectively. They have an unsung defense corps back there, especially the other four. We talked a great deal about Krios and Cronkite. The other four very, very effective defensively.
That's Marco Krios with it now. Almost gave it away as he fanned on his pass, but they do get it out to center ice. Cleared back in for Cronkite. This pair 7-11 is certainly a mainstay back there for Kennedy. Krios and Cronkite. Dave Pearson for Burnsville. Tied up along the boards. The puck squirts free, and here come the Burnsville Braves. Paul Kivy with Cam Beckman and Steve Dahl. That's the third line for Burnsville. Dahl's in after the puck first. Dahl trying to center it, put it out in front, works for it again. Loose puck, Beckman couldn't reach it. And back comes Tom Hansen. Hansen to McGowan. McGowan over the line, and sprawling was Romanowski to knock it off his stick. McGowan stays with it, though. Romanowski takes him to the board. Helping out there is Hansen. Hansen is small, but he is so quick, and he's after the puck now. Hansen knocks it back in the corner. McGowan centered it. 2/16 as Romanowski took McGowan to the boards. And out come Burnsville. A lead pass just a bit too far for Dahl.
That's the same corner that McGowan was hitting before. He's probably saying, what are you boys trying to do? Get me out of the game? You keep giving me that puck right in front of big, strong defensemen like Romanowski.
McGowan went down a third time there, and he's decided he's headed for the bench. That's enough for one shift. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left in period number 2. It's still 3-1 Kennedy. And the Braves just send the puck down the ice. It'll come back into Burnsville territory for a faceoff.
If you're going to put the puck in Burnsville's corner in their defensive zone, you know Romanowski and Manley and Engberg, Pearson, DeMaio, those type of fellas hit you a lot. Manley and Romanowski with some good size back there. They like to take the body and they punish you. They make you pay if you want to come up with that puck.
Jason Miller on the draw against Granato. Miller wins it, but it goes to Burnsville player who gets it outside the line. Kent Landreth. His pass broken up, and here comes Rob Granato. Granato over the line, and there's about 5 Kennedy players waiting for him. Here's a shot off the stick of DeMeo, and it deflects way up into the crowd.
Well, there was a little screen set up in front. Players start bunching together. Had DeMeo been able to get that through, it could have given goaltender Chris Lind a little problem. But it hit a stick, deflected over the glass. Time winding down, 4:16 to go in the second period. 3-1 lead Kennedy.
From the draw, Joe Decker's up with it. Here comes the all-Metro, all-conference player. Decker feeds it for Miller. Tittle goes in front. Miller tried to slide on the pass, but DeMeo was there. Lance Wernes around the boards on the near side. Granato flips it up over the glass and out of play.
Frank DeMeo saw Pittleco all alone in front of that net. Miller also saw him. He was going to slide a backhand pass through to him. A real good play by DeMeo. Otherwise, goaltender Dennis would have been looking right against the third line. And now, as Peterson sees Brett Schneider come back, he made sure that McGowan's line came back, so they only had a one-line rest, but they're coming back out against that line.
Here come the Burnsville Braves as Sundby tries to dodge in over the line. He would have been offside. The puck cleared out to center. Hendrickson fires it right back in. Steve Cronkite with it there, being forechecked by Sundby, but Cronkite gets it ahead. There's a giveaway, and Reddy just turned and fired, and it went over the net. That's what Burnsville likes to do, capitalize on the opponent's mistakes. In this case, though, Kennedy doesn't make many. Here's Scott Reddy. Trying to turn, but he's checked by Krayos. Krayos just flips it in behind goaltender Tom Dennis. In a more tentative period than the first, which was wide open at times, but here comes Burnsville. Scott Reddy over the line. He turns, waits for some help. Reddy hanging on, and he is leveled by Cronkite. What a hit that was, and Reddy's been shaken up. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
All the way down into the Kennedy zone. As this play was developing around the blue line, Brett Schneider was going down deep by the goal line. McGowan not concerning himself with the puck, knowing his duties, making certain that he stops the big forward on that Burnsville team in one of the 2 keys and this goal scoring ability. And he stayed right with Brett Schneider, not allowing him any room to breathe. And that certainly ball block and sort of hit him from underneath and up through him. And he might have just caught him in the jaw a little bit and shook him up. That'll stun you. That'll make you a little woozy for a few minutes. I really feel we'll see him back here again tonight.
Hard to believe as we looked at Tom Osiki. There was a time not too long ago when the parents in the Burnsville area were looking for a new coach. And Osiki took them to the state tournament 5 years in a row and a couple of championships, and maybe one more in the making tonight, but they'll need a comeback. They're down 3-1. Stansbury over the line. He tripped up, and here comes Burnsville. 3 Braves move in over the line. That's Beckman, but he overskated the puck, and here goes John Manuel the other way. Manuel feeding ahead to Stansbury. Stansbury takes a hit from Dave Pearson. Romanowski just chops it into the corner. Steve Dahl is there. He clears it to the line. Kept in by Weiss. The shot. It was deflected and just went wide. Burnsville's Beckman gets it outside the line, and regrouping is Manuel. Rick Weiss with it. As Burnsville makes a line change. Granato comes out. Loose puck. Wernes picks it up. Lance Wernes in the center ice zone. Clears it over on the left side. Too far for Phil Feinberg. Now it comes back to the center ice zone. Romanowski better be careful. Almost lost it. Now Burnsville gets it down into Kennedy territory. 1 minute, 46 seconds to play in the second period as play is whistled down.
I'm certain Kennedy's happy plays whistle down, because when Granato's line's out there, that means Wernes is on the wing, and he's one fella that can score goals. And when that happens, Coach Peterson wants Jason Miller's line out against him, and he had been caught deep because Burnsville had a line change when Kennedy had control of the puck on the far side.
From the faceoff, Kent Landreth moves in behind his own goal. Landreth takes the return pass. And a long lead pass down the ice will go for icing with 1.5 minutes to go in the second period.
That's only the second time we saw a little variation of a breakout play by Landreth and Parent, and it was a good one. They just missed connecting on the long lead pass. Decker and Miller were both up ice, breaking up the middle. As Burnsville was taking away the boards on them, they cut to the middle, and had they connected on that play, it would have been a good opportunity for Kennedy.
That's the play they used in the first minute last night against Greenway. Sent Miller in all alone. They started that game with a bang. Here's Landreth with the puck again. He has an assist tonight. Clearing it off the boards and out to center. Puck is loose inside the Burnsville line. Now the Braves clear it, and there's Warnes. Maybe loose on the right wing. Warnes, though, is stopped up by Landreth, who cut him off at the pass. Landreth's had a strong game. There's Granato. Granato trying to come out in front. He's knocked down by Landreth. Warnes shoots from well out, and Lynn steers that to the side with under 1 minute to play in the second period. Back comes Joe Decker. Decker centers it, and making the save was Dennis. It's loose. Piddleco swiped at the puck, and they whistle play down.
Well, Piddleco saw the puck there lying loose. The referee lost sight of it. That's why he blew the whistle. But he and Miller were both going to the net as Decker centered that pass, and they almost were able to convert on the deflection. You see Decker's pass right here going to the net as Piddleco. He's going to come right back out front. That puck's going to be lying there, so he's going to take a swipe at it. You can't see it from behind it, that's where the camera is, but from our vantage point, it was free of the goaltender, and he felt he had an opportunity to score. 45 seconds to go in the period.
Piddleco's kind of a feisty guy. A couple of times tonight he's been in right on Tom Dennis, and the defensemen have ushered him out of that goal crease. Piddleco hasn't wanted to leave. Not that big, but certainly causes some commotion. Here comes McGowan trying to cut in, and he only had one hand on the stick and still almost got the shot away. I think McGowan's becoming one of the unheralded players of the tournament. He is just playing an outstanding tournament.
He certainly is, Chris. He has definitely been one of the best players in this tournament. He's got that great speed, and he's dangerous when he goes to the outside on you.
Tough being the second line center behind Jason Miller sometimes if you're looking for attention, but I'm sure he gets it from Jerry Peterson. Countdown's on. Can Brett Schneider get a shot away? No, he won't. And that will do it for period number 2. No scoring in the second period. And that means that the Kennedy Eagles are 15 minutes away with a 2-goal lead from their first state title. The Burnsville Braves will have to get their offense in gear in period 3.
Kennedy certainly had a much more balanced period than he had the first period. Even though they took a 3-1 lead in the first period, they weren't nearly as sharp in the opening 7 or 8 minutes as they were this period. They did not give Burnsville anything this period. They were very, very effective in their checking game. They shut off all the passing lanes for the most part. They weren't allowing Burnsville the opportunities that Burnsville has had in the past and did have.
Very tough, gang.
Where is he?
We're trying to give some credit. Excuse me. We're trying to give some credit to the girls who are not official cheerleaders. They are the pom-pom girls. Okay? Now, we're so glad you could come down. If there's somebody at home that you've always wanted to say hello to on television, here's your chance.
Hi, Dolores. Hi, Gene.
Can we come up with some kind of a special cheer for now to go out on?
Way to go, Tony! Way to go! Way to go, Tony! Way to go! Way to go, Tony! Way
Say there's Joe Decker and Jason Miller. Who else putting the pressure on in the closing minutes? Actually, the puck did go on the net, but the referee lost sight of it at this point and made the correct call by blowing the whistle.
That Decker Piddleco line and Miller is just fantastic, buzzing, swarming the net constantly, and Dennis certainly has his hands full on that one. Actually, the puck goes in as it slapped at right there. It squirts in, but the whistle had blown and blew the play dead. Of course,
Decker,
once it is blown, it is gone.
That's right. Decker and Miller are 2 of the candidates for the Mr. Minnesota Hockey Award, which will be awarded, I believe, tomorrow night here in the Twin City area. They're certainly 2 very excellent candidates, as we've seen in the state tournament. Ralph, we have another trivia question.
With such high hopes, the quest for glory is pure and unsullied, for all here start as equals.
However, it's the unfortunate but inevitable price that one pays to play here, that only one of these 8 teams will pass the test and never taste the bitterness of defeat.
And when it comes, for some of the unsuccessful 7, defeat is swift and utterly final.
I don't know if you ever really prepare for it in reference to the suddenness of it. You kind of lay your heart and lay your body out on that ice and give it what you got, and you always pray and hope that that's going to be enough.
The loss should never be shouldered by just one player, though one may feel it more poignantly than others. And this his teammates sense and rally to his side.
Makes me feel a lot better. You don't be mad at me or anything, you know, like it was my fault, so it made me feel really good.
In the sanctuary of the locker room, the despair gives way to disbelief.
When it's finally over, you really can't believe it. You're completely in kind of a daze for a bit.
As the skates are unlaced for the last time and the gears stowed away for another season, the shock gives way to sadness.
I don't know, it's kind of bad because we worked hard all year and thought we were coming together pretty well, and we just didn't bounce our way today. We gave it a good effort, so that's about all we could do.
I think the great lesson that sports like life has to teach us. You can play your best and still come out on the short end.
But lessons are for later. Now to the consoling arms of family and friends go the defeated. Their brave smiles belie a bruised pride and persistent pain that only naturally attends any loss at this level of championship play.
Each time that the hurt is still there. You play hard, but you still leave part of yourself on the ice.
Terribly, this is live continuing coverage of the 1987 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
15 minutes away from their first state championship if they can hold on to their 2-goal lead. It's 3-1. Burnsville Braves hoping to mount a comeback to win their 3rd consecutive title.
Burnsville would certainly like to get off to a quick start. What they're going to have to do is try and get a way that Brett Schneider can start effectively tying up the Kennedy defenseman. He's being watched all the time by McGowan, so if they get the puck in the offensive zone, he might as well go to an area and line himself up beside a Kennedy player, so effectively then he's taking an extra player out of the play because McGowan is staying right with him, so he might as well go stand with the defenseman, and it's like 1 watching 2 and allow a 4-on-3 situation for the rest of the ice.
The matchup we have seen throughout has started the 3rd period. Brett Schneider's line against McGowan's line, and Burnsville fires it in. Can they score that early goal to spark them back? McGowan being watched by Scott Reddy. He was the Burnsville player injured late in the 2nd period, so it's nice to see Reddy back on the ice here in the 3rd. Number 14 for Burnsville. There's a pass broken up by Sundby. Sundby trying to slide it through for one of his teammates. Hendrickson moved in, chopped it into the corner. Brett Schneider behind the net. There's Sundby. Reddy heads for the front of the net. Kennedy clears it around the boards, kept in momentarily by Manley, and now it deflects out and over the glass out of play.
Burnsville going on the attack right away, trying to free someone up. They almost had an opportunity when Brett Schneider was over on the boards with McGowan. Reddy had the puck. He and Sundby were in good position to get a chance, but the pass didn't connect. Burnsville still on the offense. They have to get something quickly. The next goal, if it was scored by Kennedy, would be disastrous because Kennedy's such a well-disciplined and strong checking team that it'd be tough to come back from.
Hendrickson backhands it in the zone. Chris Lind, who has played a strong game out of the net, clears it around the boards for Joe Decker. Long pass too far for Pittelko, and this will be icing against the Kennedy Eagles. 13:59 left in regulation time. It's 3-1 Bloomington Kennedy. And for the 9th straight year, the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament has attracted over 100,000 fans. This year's figure, 100,205. Attendance tonight, 16,540. Another highly successful tournament. Our congratulations go out to the organizers for that. And to the teams involved for putting on quite a show. Out comes Jason Miller. Miller across the line. Double team. Decker moves in to help out, and they hold it for a face-off. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
When he's on the ice, Burnsville's got to concern himself about getting scored on rather than scoring themselves.
Here's Parent being dumped at the blue line. Lance Wernes can't get it out as Miller stole it. Piddleco to Miller. Miller turning. Passes Decker. Shooting, and it was blocked on the far side by Wernes. Decker and Wernes have it tied up in their skates, and now Burnsville gets it out, and here comes Granato. He just fires it in on Lynn. It's up on the mesh, and they'll have a face-off outside the Kennedy blue line.
Jason Miller again created an opportunity for Decker. You don't teach kids the kind of things that he has. He's got great hockey sense. He knows where people are. He knows when to move the puck. He really gets the opportunities for his wingman. Very creative sentiment.
Dave Pearson backhands it into Kennedy territory. Lind out of that net again. He has to be careful he doesn't get trapped as Beckman comes up with it. Tries to center it, and John Manuel has it for Kennedy. Manuel over the line for Big Dan Bauer, the junior. He's 6'2", 200-pounder. Bauer going after his man, and look at him crash the board trying to come up with the loose puck. Bauer still forechecking, and he knocked the stick right out of the hand of Paul Kivy. Now Romanowski to Pearson. Pearson just got rid of it at center. Manuel was there, clears it back in, and Bauer is trapped offside.
Nothing wrong with an offside like that. When you have your man caught deep, you got control of the puck, and you're going to get checked. You might as well get it in, get a whistle, because they've been out there for a while anyway. They're getting a little tired. They've got the lead. Gives them time to, since they've got the last change, to effectively get on the ice who they want against Burnsville's line. And as you know, when Brett Schneider comes out, that's going to be McGowan.
McGowan and Brett Schneider on the draw, and up with it comes Burnsville. Here's a lead pass for Sunby. Sunby got a shot away. Lynn the save, and the rebound goes wide. And on the mesh once again. With the score, Kennedy 3, Burnsville 1. This is Hockey 87 live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Now 17 to go.
And the Burnsville fans start to make some noise to exude their team on. From the faceoff, it goes to Hendrickson. Granato around behind the net for Sunby. He's out there with Brett Schneider up front. Good play at the line as Wernes kept it in. Good eye-hand coordination as he knocked that one out of midair. And Wernes takes a shot towards the goal, cleared away. It comes to the right point. Hendrickson can't keep it in, and here comes a break. Jason Miller, Joe Decker, 2-on-1. Miller, Decker, big save, Dennis. What a feathery pass by Miller.
What a great pass that was. Right over the stick, just laid it flat.
Well, we told you they scored 10 short-handed goals, one in the tournament. They almost had their second and 11th of the year. Hendrickson brings it down at the point. Shot right on goal. There's a loose puck. Granato! And Lynn got a stick on it somehow. I think it hit the butt end of his stick. There's a shot from the point right on. Rebound! Sunby rolled it wide. Great pressure by Burnsville, but now Kennedy breaks out again. It's Decker with Miller. Decker shooting, and that one went high. Deflected up over the net. Jason Miller with it. 46 seconds to go in Burnsville's power play. And Miller fires it in. Dennis out of the goal, clears it around the boards. McGowan has come out for Kennedy. And here goes Kivy up ahead to Steve Dahl. Dahl puts on the brakes, passes rink wide, nobody home, and Kennedy comes back. Marco Creos out on the right wing, and beating him to the puck was Dave Pearson. 19 seconds to go in the power play. Burnsville needs a goal. They're down 3-1. Puck shot into the zone. Lind out of the net. There's Cam Beckman. Lind was knocked down. He was out of the goal. And Burnsville couldn't get a shot corrected at the net. Dave Pearson with the penalty almost expired. Lind makes the stop. And they hold it for a face-off. The penalty over. Kennedy back at full strength.
An excellent penalty kill, although Burnsville did get an opportunity in the pass across from Granado to Sunby. It didn't connect, and then Jason Miller with a superb pass to Decker. Decker only to be thwarted by goaltender Tom Dennis. End-to-end action on that power play. Burnsville desperately trying to get that goal to close the gap, trailing by 2 with 10:16 remaining.
Well, the Braves had scored on 37% of their power play chances this year. They came close here, but they're 1 for 6 in the tournament, and that stat may haunt them. There's a shot right on, and Lind goes down to make the stop.
And right on the doorstep was Scott Reddy. It looked like that puck wasn't going to get frozen. The backhand shot taken. Scott Reddy right in the doorstep. But he wasn't able to connect. You see Brett Schneider take the backhand shot on the net. Right there, it looked like it was going to come free. Fortunately for Kennedy, it didn't.
Well, this would normally be Thane Venix's turn and goal, but the way Chris Lind played against Greenway last night, Jerry Peterson elected to break up his rotation and go with Lind, and Lind has certainly made Peterson look awfully good for that decision tonight. There's a pass to the point. Manley's shot was blocked, and here comes Kennedy, 3-on-2 down the ice. It's Jason Miller. Piddle goes open, and he missed the pass. I think he snuck a peek, trying to find out where Dennis was, and he lost control of the puck. They tie it up for a face-off. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Finished off killing the penalty. Brett Schneider came out fresh. So now we got McGowan back out against Granado's line.
Here's Granado inside the line. Couldn't get by Cronkite, who's had a strong evening. Now Relinga clears it out to center ice. Lance Wernis to Frank DeMeo. DeMeo banks it in off the glass. Behind the net, there's Lind stopping it for Krayos. Krayos out to Hansen. Hansen leaves it there, and McGowan skates out with it. Down the ice comes Pat McGowan. Quite a night for him. McGowan centers it. Hansen chopped at it. It comes back to Krayos. Krayos out in front. Puck is loose. Hansen with the shot rolling wide. Frank DeMeo after it for Burnsville. Tried to hit a breaking winger, but it hit him in the back of the skate. DeMeo follows up himself. He can't get loose. Now Marco Krayos has it. And here comes the Finnish defenseman, and he is smooth. Over the line he goes, but Tom Hansen had stepped in just ahead of him offside.
You'll probably see McGowan's line get an extra shift here. Coach Peterson might want him back out against Brett Schneider. So as the third lines come out here, you'll see Stansberry against Kivy. Don't be surprised when Brett Schneider comes out next if McGowan comes back out, so he gets the same matchup going, since it's worked so well for him thus far.
Just like a chess game for those coaches back there. Here comes Steve Dahl. Dahl centered it out in front, but they covered Paul Kivy in the slot very well, and Kennedy comes back. Boy, this Kennedy defense, they really shut you down. Here's Romanowski giving the puck away. There's a shot by Stansberry. It was knocked down in front by Pearson. Bauer fires away. He's off the target. His shot was deflected. Here's a chance in front for Stansberry. And he was knocked off the puck. Now it's cleared out by Pearson into the center ice zone, and Bauer knocked it down with the high stick. With the score, Kennedy 3, Burnsville 1. This is Hockey 87, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Because that'll give you an extra 30 seconds of rest, and you can really start using the lines the way you want. Even if you're short shifting them, you know that you're going to get some rest time when you don't expect it.
I think we're going to see a lot of Jason Miller and Joe Decker and Dan Bretschneider. Here's Bretschneider for Burnsville, trying to barge in. And a fine defensive play by Kent Landreth again. We've mentioned him a fair bit tonight.
Our producer in our ear says next you're going to say I'm from Burnsville. You got to use whatever you have.
We'll get suspicious when the coaches start wearing headsets. Here's a chance for Kennedy. And Hendrickson snuffs it out to lead Sunby. Sunby gives it to Brett Schneider, and they called it on the outside. It was close. Brett Schneider put it in the net, but Lynn did let up. He'd heard the whistle.
But you're exactly right. It's a good thing it was close, because there was the occasion. Brett Schneider's been bottled up all night long, but he gets out that one time without McGowan. If there's no offside, he's him alone. So I'm very surprised that they don't go right back to getting McGowan on Brett Schneider. He's been so effective tonight. Don't change something. You have 7:17 to go. You're winning by 2. You don't want to mess with what's working for you.
Renato Wernis with a steal and a backhand, but he didn't get much on it. Lynn will hold on. You can't make those kind of mistakes, because Wernis will make you pay for it, although he didn't have much on that shot.
And that, we were talking about McGowan on Brett Schneider, that's taking nothing away from the defensive game of Jason Miller. But if you want Miller to play like McGowan, then you're just considering giving up totally his offense if he's going to go like McGowan was going all over the ice with Brett Schneider only.
From the draw, Kennedy up with it. Hansen, although Enkford keeps it in at the right point. Now Kennedy with a long pass for Hansen too far. This one could be icing, but Hansen's speed causes Dennis to come out, and Dennis has to make a save off McGowan. With the score, Kennedy 3, Burnsville 1. This is Hockey 87, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
Because Donato's just going to go for him. If they win the faceoff, it's fine, but if they lose, they give up possession.
Well, McGowan won it, tried to spin, direct a shot on goal, but it was knocked down the ice by Burnsville. Wernis giving chase, but Crayos got there first. Here's a giveaway. Granato tried to barge in, and he was checked by Cronkite. Back the other way comes Kennedy as Hansen overskating the puck and turning now with it. Granato. Granato sidesteps a check in with Wernis, and Granato was belted. Feinberg is dumped in front. There's a rolling puck. Granato slid it by the open corner. Hendrickson keeps it in. Now the Eagles move it out. And it slides down into Burnsville territory. Hendrickson takes a look. Kennedy making a line change. A long pass too far for Sunby, and it's called icing. 6:01 left.
Well, Granato came up with a good opportunity. Kennedy desperately has to make sure that Burnsville's getting no chance, but Granato makes his own chance with a nice sidestep as he gets right through the defenseman. His line mate picks up the puck. Wernis coming over that blue line. They took it in deep, but they just couldn't quite connect. Kennedy hanging on to a 2-goal lead, 6:01 to go. And Burnsville knows they have to open up somewhat here.
The Eagles have thrown that stone wall up in front of Chris Lind, and it's certainly been tough to move in for Burnsville. They've been held scoreless since the 1:16 mark of the first period. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament. Brett Schneider wins the draw. See if Brett Schneider can get loose. Brett Schneider feeds it on the left wing. Scott Reddy against Kent Landreth. Landreth doesn't give him an inch, and the puck slides back out to center. Hendrickson going down deep in his zone, picks up the puck. Henderson kind of the unfortunate victim on that first Kennedy goal that bounced in off his skate. Landreth ahead to Decker. Decker clears it back into Burnsville territory. Kennedy makes a line change. There's Piddleco. Piddleco against Brett Schneider, who knocks him off the puck. Hendrickson up the boards. Sunby is pinned against the boards. Good defensive play, but then Sunby follows up and keeps it in the zone. Up against Mike Parent. Number 5 is Parent. He handed it to Brett Schneider, who tried to jam and slid it through the goal crease. So Burnsville is getting some chances, and they just haven't been able to connect.
That's right, Chris. They've had more chances in the last 5 minutes than they had in the previous period and a half. And they almost scored on the same type goal that they scored on in the first period. Kennedy trying to reverse. Brett Schneider just stood right there. They gave him the puck. He came out and tried to jam. First period worked. There it did, but Kennedy's got to be certain of that reverse. Apparently Burnsville has seen him often enough to know they like to use it, and they're sending the man right to the boards when they attempt that, and they've picked off a couple here tonight.
Granato on this draw. Wins it, tries to feed it back to the point. And it's cleared outside the line, and going back to it, it's Mike Engford. Engford clears it outside the line. McGowan's there, and he backhands it back in, and now it goes into the timers bench for another face-off. And this time, Lou, I think we should salute the stats people that help us out throughout the tournament. Greg Littman downstairs, and to our associates up here in the booth, John Bell Wilson and Dan Allen, for all the help they've given us throughout the 3 or 4 days here during the tournament. There's so much information to sift through, and we need all the help we can get.
That's great. Thanks, fellas.
4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in regulation time. It's 3-1 in favor of Kennedy, and they have certainly put up a tough defense here, and Burnsville's having trouble solving it. Here's Tom Dennis, the goaltender, clearing it ahead. He's trying to help out that offense, trying to get it going. Down ice they go. Warness in first, trying to cause some trouble, but the Eagles are able to stay composed and get it outside the line. McGowan ahead for Kreus, and Kreus shoots it right in on Dennis. And it's called on an offside at the Burnsville line.
Well, Dave Pearson just forced Mark Walinga offside as the puck was getting thrown in. That caused the offside. Fellas going off a little slowly for Kennedy now. They want to make certain that they've got everyone lined up where they should be. They're not making any quick changes, getting a little rest. The pace has been quick. They've done a real effective checking job thus far.
Time certainly becoming an added element here with 3:53 left. Burnsville's got to make something happen soon. Here's a long pass up ice. They're looking for Decker. It was just off his stick. Hendrickson, he is checked. Puck came loose, and Decker almost picked it up. Now there's the breakaway pass for Brett Schneider, cut off. Brett Schneider was hanging around at the center line and almost had that breakaway pass. You only try that so often, and they almost executed it. Jason Miller, what a story he's been in the tournament. Another goal here tonight to Piddleco. He knocks it into the zone. Kennedy making a line change. Here's Manley. He's all tied up by Decker. Loose puck. And here's McGowan skipping inside the line. McGowan moving in, shooting. Dennis the stop. Dennis wants to keep that puck alive. Sends it up ahead to Sunby. Sunby for Brett Schneider. And Brett Schneider down the right wing. Missed a check. Kicks it over the line. But in ahead of the play was Paul Kibbe offside. 2:52 remaining.
But good play by the Kennedy defense. They certainly have been standing up in that blue line often enough, not allowing Burnsville to get in the zone. And that time, Marco Kreos, with a lot of help from Tom Hansen, forced Brett Schneider to hold up at that blue line just long enough to cause an offside. A good check by Kreos, an offside, 2:51 to go now.
Hendrickson clearing it into the zone. Marco Kreos with it for Kennedy. Up ahead it goes, and here comes McGowan. He skated miles and has a 2-on-1, and it was just a bit too far for Walinga. He couldn't reach that pass.
He should have just laid that over in the backhand. It would have been a little easier for him. He tried to force a forehand pass through, and it was just too far. Well, that would have been the hockey game.
Back they come again, and this is another 2-on-1. McGowan over the line, working in the return pass. And Dennis was down, and somebody got a stick on it before Walinga could put it in. At the point, Kreus had thoughts about shooting it, just cleared it for the corner. And now it's worked out by Romanowski up ahead to Reddy. He dodges a check. Here's Granato to Wernes. Wernes has Granato open, and he couldn't get a shot away. Kreus takes Granato into the boards. That was a close call, and it just failed to click. 1 minute, 48 seconds left. Back the other way, a shot. Dennis makes the stop. He knocks it ahead for Scott Reddy. It's opening up again as Burnsville has to get a goal quickly. They're down by 2. It's 3-1. That puck almost squirted into the goal crease. Hendrickson turns. Up ahead on the left wing, down into Kennedy territory. It goes, but quickly knocked away. Hendrickson makes sure his teammates are on side, fires in, and Lind will hold on for a faceoff. 1:18 left. Will Tom Osiki pull his goaltender?
He'll be pulling him shortly, and there was certainly a good job done out there by John Manuel and Dan Bauer, the wings, as Stansbury was forechecking very aggressively. They just held their positions. They picked up Burnsville wings, and they weren't about to allow them any freedom at all. We got a timeout coming now.
Tom Osiki has called the timeout.
He's going to discuss with his goaltender when he wants to have him pulled out. At the same time, he's got to get his top two lines some rest because they're the ones that are going to be seeing some action. And I'm certain he'll probably even use one of the forwards on defense, getting down to it. A fellow like Lance Werner that plays that power play so often. As you get close to the end, he can step back there. He quarterbacks to his plays from the blue line. He's got a good head, and he could be a threat back there. Osiki telling his players what he wants them to do. He wants to make sure they contain Kennedy in that zone. Have two men on the puck at all time, and if Kennedy puts two, you put three. Make sure that you never get outnumbered in their zone. You're going to have one extra man once he pulls that goaltender. You've got to come up with that puck, and you've got to create an opportunity. Kennedy at the same time, they're being told by their coach, make certain that you don't cough the puck up. If you've got nothing to do with it, contain it along the boards, kick it along the wall, kill some time. If you do have control, flip it out of the zone. Try not to get an icing. Make certain if you get control out of the zone, you get to the red line, dump it in. Then when they come out, pick up your wings, allow one forechecker, defense stand up, don't give that zone too easily.
That streak is on the line, 17 in a row. And another streak, or drought, if you will, of Kennedy is about to come to an end if they can play the last minute 18 solid. Kennedy on the verge of their first state championship.
And the goaltender is out. There's no use protecting a loss. Trailing by 2. 1:18 to go. Kennedy desperate to win the faceoff. They should have someone on the boards. Burnsville, if they have that left winger all alone on the boards, they're going to get control right away if they just tie on the faceoff.
Granato, Sunby, Reddy, Brett Schneider, Warnes, and Hendrickson, the 6 attackers for Burnsville. And look at the jostling going on. Granato desperately tries to win the faceoff, does, and he fired it wide. What a great scoring chance in the net off its mooring. They'll get another faceoff deep in the Kennedy zone. That only took 6 seconds, and they almost got on the board.
Well, Kennedy had their defenseman down deep at the bottom of the circle. There's no sense being there. When that draw was set down, the left wing came in. He got a little help. He's got to be, that defenseman's got to be up on the man. And now someone should be on 14 right here ready, because if he gets it, he's going to lay it right back to Wernes. That's what he did.
Here's a stolen puck, and this will do it. There it is. Chad Piddlecole makes it 4-1.
A great play by Piddlecole, anticipating that pass. He went right in the slot area. He deflected that soft pass all the way down, and Kennedy's going to have their first state championship.
The celebration's on here at the St. Paul Civic Center.
You see Piddlecole going down all alone, unmolested. He deflected that pass from the wing. And all he did was steal it down to that open net, put it in, 4-1 lead. Kennedy continuing their great defensive play, just allowing one goal thus far tonight. As he did in the sectionals, only allowed one all the way through the sectionals against a tough, well-coached, and very disciplined Burnsville team. But Kennedy doing what they've done all season long. They've been the best all year, and they've proven it here again during this tournament.
Well, the unsung guy on the team, Piddlecole, he is the third member of that big line with Jason Miller and Joe Decker. As Dave Thielen gets ready to go back into goal, he'll take Tom Dennis's spot, or Brett Thielen. He'll finish the game, 1:04 remaining, and it's academic now. Kennedy, who were beaten in 1984 in the final by Edina, and then watched Burnsville win in 85 and 86, are on the verge and already celebrating their first state championship.
Well, Tom Osiki's got to be proud of that hockey club. They came a long way this season. They played tremendously well at the end of the year, and they certainly carried it over into this state championship. They're here because they deserve to be here. They played 2 qualifying games very, very well. They gave Kennedy a real good game tonight. They got off to the lead, but Kennedy, with their firepower, is able to come from behind 1-0. And once they get rolling, they've been the toughest team to stop all season long, and it's been no different here tonight.
Number 1 for most of the year. They beat the only team that had beaten them, Greenway, in the semifinal. And just to make it all official, they've come out here and beat the defending champions for the 4th time in 1 year. And while they continue to take the debris off the ice, Lou, I know we can say it because we're not regular employees of WCCO. Congratulations to the entire crew for another stellar effort. In particular to the executive producers, Reed Johnson, Ken Reese, and Jack Brown, who has been living in the truck downstairs for the last 3 or 4 days. And to everybody that's manned the cameras and been downstairs helping out, what a great job. Under a minute to go in the 1987 championship game. Manley, long lead pass.
Really good at Jerry Peterson, too. He's got his 4th line out here, giving them some championship tournament time.
Tex Golding's out there. Kyle McLean along with John Carlson. That's the 4th line. Haven't seen much of them in the tournament, but they're out there now for the final minutes. And what a great moment it is for them. Oh, we've got a penalty coming up, and it's going to go against the Kennedy Eagles with 23 seconds to play.
Well, the hooking call didn't give Burnsville an opportunity in the power play, but it's just a little too tough. One time I can remember in hockey, Mozienko got 3 goals in 21 seconds, but that's the only time that I can recall any scoring of that caliber. And we've got 23 seconds here, but we don't have Mozienko on the ice right now.
And he probably didn't score in the last 23 to tie a game.
That's right.
Kyle McLean gets a chance to be introduced to the crowd here as he takes the penalty, and unfortunately somebody threw a soft drink down from the crowd and it hit Chris Lynn, the goaltender for Kennedy. And we hope that's the last of that nonsense. Let them play the last 23 seconds, and then Lynn will be happy to spill some pop all over him.
They'll be celebrating tonight. A well-deserved state championship for an excellent hockey club.
Paul Kivy out there for Burnsville. This last gas power play. 15 seconds remaining. Puck comes back to the point. It's cleared away, and the countdown is on. The old champions have been beaten. The new champions of Minnesota are Bloomington Kennedy. Victory. They lost just once all year. Lance Wernes knows how it feels to be on the winning side. Tonight he tastes defeat, but what a career he's had at Burnsville, and the Kennedy Eagles get their first taste of the state championship.
Well, they might have seen it coming 4 years ago because they won that state Bantam championship, and with that team they had, oftentimes those kids, as they develop through the years, come back here to the state tournament, and they certainly came back well prepared to win this. A very well-coached team. They've had an outstanding season. Great balance on that hockey club. They've got something of everything that you need. And even though they have an outstanding player like Jason Miller, they have a great supporting cast all the way back to the goal. And that's something that is proved in good stead for them. Tonight, you take Pat McGowan, who's played so well for them all year. He has to be an unsung hero, just a job he did in Brett Schneider.
Pat McGowan standing by downstairs with Mark Rosen.
Okay, we're with Pat McGowan, and Pat, I can't believe this is happening for you guys. It's been a long wait, hasn't it?
It's the greatest feeling ever. I can't believe it. I mean, it's the biggest dream of anybody. I mean, it's a goal I can't believe, but fulfilled. I don't know what to say.
How concerned were you after Burnsville got that first goal tonight?
I mean, I thought we could come back. I mean, I knew we've done it all year long. I mean, at first, you know, it's kind of shocking, but after that, it was just, you know, come on, we're ready. We just kept on going and going.
You did a lot of the dirty work. You always had to shadow their top offensive player. It happened throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the coach likes to put us with the top lines. We like to shadow the best lines, and we've been doing it a lot, and we've had a lot of practice, and we did the job, I guess.
Pat, go enjoy it. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Tom,
thanks.
over to you.
Thanks, Mark. Jerry Peterson, 20 years at Kennedy. This has to be the high point.
Oh, it's just, you know, every year is a great year.
Did things go as you expected, Jerry?
Well, yeah, in a way, and in another way we didn't. You know, we got ahead the way we wanted to. And we wanted to play defensively. I thought we went in a little too much of a shell, but these kids have had a remarkable year, and I'm so happy for them.
Let's bring Chris Lind here. I know this is an emotional moment for you, the coach, the entire team. Good feelings.
It's the greatest feeling. I don't even believe it. I love this whole team. I love our coaches. It's unbelievable. We worked so hard. It's hard to...
What won this game tonight in your mind?
I think our loyalty to ourselves. We all love each other. We go out together. I think that's what it is. We all stick together. It's just ourselves.
Great deal of emotion on the squad, Jerry. I see a few tears welling up in your eyes.
Well, I think, you know, if you're human and you see 20 kids who've worked 18 weeks to achieve, longer than that, years probably, and they truly do care for one another, and they're very sensitive, and I know how much it meant. There were a lot of tears in their eyes, and I'm just so thrilled for them. They've accomplished a goal that they set out to do. They had 3 goals at the start of the season. They wanted to win the Lake Conference, which they did undefeated, and that's very tough to do. Then they wanted to win the region, and then they wanted to win the state, and they're super.
Jerry, congratulations. Mark Rosen has Joe Decker.
Thank you, Tom.
Very quickly, Joe Decker, what are your thoughts at this moment?
Oh, God, we waited a long time for this.
4 times you had to beat these guys this
4
year.
times, you know, but everyone was more sweeter than the next one. This has been a goal since, you know, we've been thinking about this since we won it in 9th grade, you know, building up to this. It's hard to believe it's over. You know, it's not going to sink in for a while. I'm still way up here. I don't know when I'm going to come down.
Are they ever going to be able to separate you and Jason Miller?
I couldn't tell you right now. It's sure going to be different playing without him, though.
Time for the awards. Let's go enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Medals are awarded to each member of the official squads of the first, second, and third place teams, and trophies are presented to the championship team, second place team, the third place team, and the winner of the consolation championship game in this tournament. The consolation trophy was awarded to South St. Paul High School earlier this afternoon, and the third place trophy and bronze medals were awarded to Greenway High School also this afternoon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, silver medals and the second place trophy will be awarded to the Braves from Burnsville High School.
The Minnesota State High School League is pleased to sponsor a sportsmanship trophy for the state hockey tournament. The schools of Minnesota have been actively involved in the promotion of good sportsmanship this past winter season. And the evaluation committee has selected Greenway High School of Coleraine as the recipient of the 1987 Hockey Sportsmanship Trophy. The Greenway cheerleaders will accept the trophy on behalf of Greenway High School's players, fans, and cheerleaders. Greenway High School, the sportsmanship winner for this tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 1987 Minnesota State High School hockey champion is Kennedy High School. At this time, we will have the presentation of the gold medals. Bloomington Kennedy, 1987 state hockey champions. Congratulations to both of these outstanding teams. This award ceremony is now concluded. We thank you for your attention and good evening from the Civic Center.
Time now for the victory lap, and they head right over to those Kennedy fans, and there are a ton of them here tonight. Before the game, Jerry Peterson said this is not the Stanley Cup, but for these kids at this time in their life, it's probably even a bigger thrill. He said this before the game, and I'm sure they're all feeling it right now.
It certainly is. It's something they'll never forget. People that have played in this tournament, such as Neil Broughton, and won this event, they rate this right up there. And Neil, I don't know if he was serious. He said it was as important to him as winning the gold medal in the Olympics. And when you hear statements like that, you can just feel what it must mean to these fellows that have the opportunity to win this thing. It's something just to be able to play in it. Many kids will go through their whole career and not get the opportunity to play here. But to play here and win it, as both these teams have done, as we see a few of the Burnsville players leaving now, fellas that have won it, and now Kennedy for the first time, it's got to give you tremendous satisfaction and also make you realize that the hard work that you put in was well worthwhile.
Well, I certainly can understand the emotion that pours out after a victory like this. I get emotional watching this, just showing up for the tournament each year, and these guys have been through the trenches and fight the wars, and when it's over, there's got to be that emotional outpouring. Jerry Peterson he was really fighting back the tears in that interview we saw with him. It's probably the highlight of his career.
There's a very happy Jerry Peterson and a well-deserved trophy for him, because he does an excellent job at this hockey club. He's got some fine people working with him, but he has molded this team into champions, and he certainly deserves the recognition he gets. An outstanding coach, and you can see that the way he's worked with these kids, that they are very well disciplined. You have to be disciplined to win.
It's so fun. I dreamt about this since I was started put on my first pair of skates, and our whole team's dreamt about this whole year. We've been plugging away to try to get this thing, and we got it.
You guys have been together in a state Bantam team. This obviously must mean a great deal more.
Yeah, it means a lot more than the Bantam tournament, even though that was a great time too. This is the best that this will be with me the rest of my life. I'm so happy. It's great.
Seems only fitting that we have a goal from each one of your line mates, that first line, which is really the strength of this Kennedy team on offense.
Well, yeah, our lines we plugged away this year. We did all right. It's not really our line, it's the whole team. Our defensemen are great. They shut a lot of teams out this year, and our goaltenders are awesome. And it's just so fun playing with these guys. I think it's the whole team effort that did it.
Everybody figured you'd have this game won before you played, it seemed. I know you guys disagreed with that.
Oh, yeah, we disagreed with that. We played them 3 times earlier in the season. We beat them all 3 times, but that didn't mean nothing. We just focused on this one game, because this is it. This was the big thing.
What are your plans now? A little celebration tonight?
Yeah, a little celebration. I don't know. Probably relax a little. I don't know. It's so fun. I can't believe it.
All right, Jason Miller, thank you so much. Congratulations. Back up to the booth.
A modest Jason Miller, but Lou Nanny, I thought he was the star of the tournament without question.
He easily was the most valuable player. He's going to be a superb hockey player in the future. He already is. He's got the mind for the game that you just are born with. You can't teach kids the kind of things that he has, the feel that he has, the kind of way he sees the game. He's also got great playmaking skills, those kind of things you can develop, but his head, his hockey sense is something that he brings to this game that very few people have, and I'm certain he's going to have an outstanding career ahead of him.
All in all, can you put the tournament in perspective for us?
Well, I think it was a very well-balanced tournament. After we got down to the second and third days, we had 4 teams that could conceivably win it. But overall, this was the best team. This was the deepest team. They had the kind of balance you need. Besides the scoring, they had the defensive man in the middle like McGowan that could shut the opposition down. They had strong goaltending, mobile defensemen, and physical defensemen. They had everything that it takes to win. A very deserving champ, and as good a champ as we've seen here for a while. They are a quality hockey club.
Thanks, Lou. And now let's go back down to sports control.
All right, guys, thanks much. And if I was a college coach right now, I would be right after Jason Miller and Joe Decker. At the best of our knowledge, I don't think they've been offered scholarships yet.
They have been, Mark. I know I talked last week to a college coach, and one was asking me about him. I says, I'd get right down there right now. And I know
They're lining up as we speak.
I know he's been offered. He and Decker both were offered scholarships.
Well, that's good to hear. That's terrific. They are 2 classy players, a very classy hockey team, considering the fact they had to beat the state runners-up 4 times this season. That says it all. I think it also says something about the effort that Greenway Coleraine put on Kennedy last night and how close they came to beating Kennedy last night.
Well, I don't think a lot more can be said, but we will attempt to in just a moment as we wrap it up with game highlights. So stay with us. This is continuing coverage.
To a good start, Lance Wernes, the quarterback on their excellent football team, scored the goal, and really shows you how difficult it is to beat. Actually, that was a goal right there by Kennedy, I believe, Ralph.
It was, and let's take another look here. This is a Kennedy goal right here. Pat McGowan, that was that 55-foot slap shot, I believe it was, that tied it at 1-1.
That's right. It hit off a skate there. And then Jason Miller, of course, was the man responsible for most of their offense. This was his 6th goal of the tournament. Number 10, Jason Miller, as Lou Nanne indicated, might be heading to Denver University. He hasn't accepted that scholarship offer yet, and he'll certainly be an excellent college player no matter where he goes.
That turned out to be the game winner. It made it 2-1, and Burnsville or Kennedy goes on to the 4-1 championship win. We have over 100,000 total attendance once again this year. We had over 16,000 in the house tonight. Let's take a look at the brackets, Mark. First of all, the consolation championship went to South St. Paul. They win 4-3 in overtime earlier today against Hill Murray's Pioneers.
Then in the battle for 3rd place, the Battle of the North, it was Greenway Coleraine with a tough win over a very good Warroad club. Greenway Coleraine with only, I believe, 4 seniors on that team. May expect to see them back again next year.
And again in the championship, Bloomington Kennedy, a team that had won as Bantams in this championship series. They win it here over the 2-time defending champion Burnsville Braves, and that final was 4-1. Our congratulations to Kennedy. Also, hats off to a fine Tom Osiki club from Burnsville. They showed a lot of spunk, and they showed a lot of poise. They also showed a lot of sportsmanship after the game. You saw Tom Osiki congratulating and hugging many of the Kennedy players. They've had a lot of battles throughout the years.
Knew they were beaten by a better team, not only tonight, but throughout this season. They beat them